Welcome, beautiful, divine, masculine, and feminine darlings. This is the Seraph MGM Gypsy. This is the Seraph Indigo Empress, and this is Shiloh Horizon. I won't be here for too long, but I did just jump out of the shower after rinsing conditioner out of my hair. I have a bath drawing in the background, and I picked up a couple of channels while I was in there. Now this is in regards to and indicative of levels of abuse and oppression in hostage situations, as well as financial scams and theft, fraud to start. And if you have to lie to a judge, if you have to cover up the fact that you have been arrested, 101, for abusing and assaulting a victim just to get access to that victim, then you don't actually have the right to go near that victim. If you have to lie to cover up arrest records that show that you have been arrested for abusing a victim, just in order to get permission to go back near that victim so that you can have round two, you don't have the right to go near them. If you have to cover up domestic abuse records, for example, just to obtain access to a child, covering up records that say that you were arrested for abuse, just so that you can try to convince people that you're safe enough to be around a child, you don't have the right to be around that child, or the guardian of that child, or the other people you've abused in the situation. In this case, a divine feminine and her children. 202. This is based on fiduciary law. It's called fiduciary duty, and it's a violation. You're not qualified to have a fiduciary duty, meaning governance over a child or any kind of income or anything like that, if you have to hide or conceal things. There is not room for a scintilla of disloyalty to exist in regards to being qualified to be a proper fiduciary advocate, according to a very commonly quoted jurist. I'll link a law website that references all of this in the down bar. And you must put even any potential conflicts of interest on the table. So for example, it would be a conflict of interest to have access to a domestic abuse victim that you previously abused. It would be a conflict of interest to have access to the children of those person who you also have abused and should be kept from abusing or further abusing. It's a conflict of interest to hire your family members to be your attorneys to file these fraudulent paperworks and attacks against victims, especially when those same family members of yours are refusing to allow the victims proper protection and legal counsel or time to allocate that counsel. 322. But in this case, that's what these people have done on every note. 232 rather, 333, or 333, 322. I just saw a bunch of them pop up. And this is a problem, because it wasn't legal. So in this case, people lied, said that they were safe and decent people by concealing their arrest records that showed that they were not, just to get access to victims that they wanted to abuse. And then, in order to maintain that access, they continued to lie to cover up the fact that they had filed fraud in the first place and were continuing to file fraud to cover up that initial fraud. So every round of attempt at defense that they had, and every round an attempt at concealing their crimes, was just another attempt at concealing the previous crimes, which were an attempt at concealing the initial crime. Meaning, in no way, shape, or form, no matter which way you spin it, these people have broken the law, are facing prison charges, and didn't have the right to do what they did to get what they wanted or access to people that they wanted, let alone to keep it. But they kept lying and covering up crimes and facts to do. including trying to say that everything that they were doing to the victims is what the victims were doing to them. We just did a reading about this. Tyrannical abusers trying to play the martyred victims. No. Okay, but I have spoken to within the last week or so 2 separate lawyers that I've been working with. I've worked with a number of them, but 2 of the more recent ones, both of them, 2 separate lawyers who are lawyers in a number of different categories and fields, both of them being probate judges. So both of them, yes, they're lawyers and they do a number of different types of law. They practice a number of different types of law, from family law to criminal law to a number of other things, but they're also probate judges, meaning when someone is stealing money or there's something in regards to money that needs to be hashed out, this goes to a probate judge, and the probate judge is a financial judge, and that judge is who deals with those. Now, in regards to my daughter Aspen and I, both of these probate judges, who also work in criminal law and family law to start, have said that nobody has the right to hold Aspen hostage. Nobody had the right to obtain access to her, especially via perjury. And not only do they have to send her back, but they're not entitled to keep any of the money that they stole from me, and they have to pay it back with interest. So that's what's coming next. Do no harm, take no shit, don't lie about people when the truth about you will destroy you. Heard. I won't cry tears of gold for you. Coming back for my inheritance. Coming back for my diamonds. Coming back for my daughter. My heart is rich because of me. Not you, you broke-ass thieves. Toodles. Stay gone. Stay there. Send my daughter home. And stop holding my money hostage, because there are higher authorities coming to collect it from you and you don't have a choice.